Bonjour! Bonjour!
No.
Time for bladder check. Check.
So it's a show?
It's a lifestyle.
It's a religion.
My emotions! My emotions!
I'm still French.
Ouais, c'est pas faux.
I'm a woman, Mary. I can be as contrary as I choose.
Non, moi je crois qu'il faut que vous arrêtiez d'essayer de dire des trucs.
Hello, hi, I'm Laura. I'm gonna watch Vinland Saga Season 1, Episode 6. I watched this morning the Episode 5. If you want to see my reaction video about it, I'm gonna put the link into the eye. I'm binge watching Vinland Saga. I saw, editing the first reaction videos about this anime, I saw that in fact only 2 seasons are out, and in fact that's it. It's the end of this anime. You're not gonna have any more seasons. I mean, I'm not gonna have any more seasons neither. I didn't know that, beginning this anime, I didn't know that I was gonna watch a finished anime, that nothing new would come and that I could just binge watch it and I'm not gonna have to wait at any moment, anytime, to watch new episodes. That's great. That's so great. Like, I love to be that lucky. I love to have that chance that you didn't have. But I was surprised about it because normally an anime, 2 seasons, it's not enough. Like, animes, it's at least 4 seasons, something like that. I'm not gonna talk about Death Note that I binge watched with you guys because it was totally different. But still, 2 seasons, okay, that's cool, and that's gonna be all. I don't know what to think of it, because I guessed with the first episode really that we would follow Thorfinn, this young boy, we would see him evolving, growing up, and now that Thors died, and that was truly a surprise for me, I didn't expect it for the dad to die at the episode 4. Like, really, it was too quick for me to get attached to this character, and clearly I didn't think that it would happen like that and so quickly. So I thought truly that we would see him evolving through seasons, I thought that maybe we would spend the entire first season with him around this age, and then, maybe a little time jump with Thorfinn maybe being a teenager during the season 2 and becoming an adult during the season 3 or the season 4. Evolving, like growing up, I really thought so now I'm like, okay, maybe it's not gonna be the case, maybe we're gonna have a time jump sooner than I think. For me, it's gonna be around the middle of this season 1. For me, we have to stay with Thorfinn as a young boy for still a little time. Even if, during the previous episode, he said goodbye to Askeladd and all of these guys, and he promised, he made Askeladd promise to accept a duel at some point when Thorfinn is gonna be old enough, strong enough. It has to happen at some point, and I'm beginning to think that maybe it's gonna be the cliffhanger, or the big thing which is gonna happen at the end of the season 1. And then the boy is gonna understand that Floki was the real enemy, that something was going on, and that's gonna be, in fact, his real revenge during the season 2, the final season. So for me, yes, I think that we're gonna stay with Thorfinn as a young boy for the first half of this season. For now, he's really weak. Even if he fought so much during the previous episode just to stay alive, to not give up on life, all by himself, that week, being thirsty, not having anything to eat and all, he managed to stay alive just because he has that rage, which is giving him that strength of surviving, not giving up. At some point, I'm gonna have my revenge. I'm gonna go after Askeladd with what happened, with Thors, the fact that he won and he shouldn't have been killed. That's so unfair. Askeladd should be the one to be dead, not my dad. And I said it at multiple occasions. He's just a kid, like, he can't understand right now that Askeladd is a pirate, so for sure he's not gonna respect his promise. and even more because he was paid to kill Thors. He had no personal issues really against Thors, and the real enemy, it's not askeladd, but for a kid it's really hard to understand, and even more for Thorfinn. Like just 2 episodes before that, the only enemy that Thorfinn knew into his life, it was Alphonse, you know, that guy who was coming to disturb the life of his little village. And when his dad said that he would go on a war, Thorfinn thought that it would be against Alphonse, you know, that was the only enemy that he could name. So clearly, he's just a kid who doesn't understand what is going on. Like, for now, he doesn't understand that countries, you know, they can make war at each other, that you have political reasons to be at war with someone, that his dad also had a big past, that there is a personal issue with Floki, that his dad ran away and for what reason. Like for Thorfinn, during the first episode, he was like, no, I don't want my ancestors to be people who ran away because it would mean that they are cowards and all. Just after that, he learned that his dad did it, but he doesn't know truly what happened right there. He's just a kid. He needs to grow up, he needs to learn things about life, he needs to understand things about how the system in place, you know, is functioning truly. And for me, it's gonna take time. And yes, I think that it would be logical to stay with him still like that during some episodes. Maybe he's gonna be raised by the villagers or he's gonna work for them. I don't know. As a teenager, for the second part of the season, he's gonna learn how to be a soldier, and maybe that's why at the end of the season he can finally face askeladd and fight him. I can imagine something like that, you know, for the chronology, for the rhythm of the season, I can imagine something like that. Askeladd, I said it, I truly appreciate his character. If not, I love his character. His way of functioning, you know, his way of thinking, I think that he truly admired, respected Thors. He didn't want to kill him, you know, for fun or anything like that. It was only to have money. And right there, he chose to not kill his son because he can see that rage that Thorfinn has, and that it's logical for this kid to want his revenge, and that it's okay to keep him alive for this kid to try to have it at some point. Maybe, I said it, maybe at some point askeladd was a soldier. I don't know how he acted with Thors. I had the impression that he and maybe other soldiers expected at some point for Thors to be the new leader. I don't know, it made me feel like that. But Thors ran away and people are considering him as a deserter. They really saw that badly, you know what he did. Something happened also right there. Like, we still have some mysteries around Thors and what happened to discover also. I hope during this season 1, and again if we have only 2 seasons, maybe in fact during this season 1 we're gonna have that. Okay, I'm gonna stop this intro right now. Let's go for this episode. Remember that if you want, you have my Patreon on which you have 4 episodes of advance, which means 2 weeks of advance for Vinland Saga. It's really a lot. In case you guys, you can be interested to have that kind of advance, and also to have extended reaction part or full reaction part for the big episodes. Like so far, for the 5 first episodes that I discovered, I already put 3 full reaction part videos. So in case you can be interested to have these advantages, you have my Patreon, and it's the best way to support me, to help me with this channel and with these videos. You have the link into the description. Let's go for this episode! We're still with you guys? I thought that you left. You went with them, Thorfinn? You know, he made him promise that they would fight at some point, but I didn't understand that he would stay with him. Ah! You're coming too late. At the same time, they are pirates, you know, they are not soldiers, so they don't care. But Thorfinn, you need to discover about this war, about all of the political aspect and all.
あちこちでイングランド軍との小競り合いが始まってるからな。バイキングも立派な戦争の道具だよ。
Mercenary.
そこに手を貸しゃ報酬もがっぽりだ。俺らの兵は100人以上。はっきり言って戦力もあんたらより上だ。海賊風情がでかい口を。まあそういうなって同じデンジンじゃねえか。貴様らと一緒にするな。なんだと。5ポンドだ。あとは好きにしろ。戦の段取りは任せるが逃げたりするなよ。貴様らに退路はない。下手な真似をすれば。
Eh? They don't want you to make that deal. They don't want the enemy to have new forces. Thorfinn, stay safe, stay idle. Not this battlefield. No, no, not this one. Okay. Who saves you? He saved you! He saved you! Ooh. It's the first person that you killed. He's dead! You killed someone. You're just a kid. You're 6 years old and you killed someone. Because you needed to, like, for Thorfinn and his vision of the world, who is the enemy and all. I hope that it's gonna make him progress, you know. Oh, okay, not the first battle. I mean the first and only. You're growing up? I told you I thought that we would keep him as a kid for the first half of the season and maybe a teenager for the second half. Your voice. Oof. Oh, you're good. You became so good, Thorfinn. Oh, you're not counting them, you know. The numbers of people that he killed. Oh, I did not expect that at all. He's what, around 12, 13 maybe?
あ、起きたね。ちょうど今晩ご飯にしようとしてたんだ。あんたの服は洗っちゃったよ。代わりにそれ着てな。
Is there some issue with the language? Like, for sure right there they are talking Japanese when they shouldn't. But are they gonna play with the fact that Vikings, people living right there, they are not talking the same language?
よっぽどペコペコだったのね。ほら、やっぱり言葉通じてないんだよ。デンジンかな。
何筆だろうと、怪我して倒れてる子供をほっとくなんて、イエス様がお許しにならないよ。
父ちゃんが平気に言ってるのに。 デンジンが攻めてきたからなんだよ。
Oh, your dad is serving.
男たちの喧嘩に女子供が付き合ってやる義理はないよ。
But you are impacted by it. You are losing people that you love because of it. Yes, yes.
うちの下の子もよく頭をボリボリやってたね。一昨年に風邪をこじらせて死んじまったけどね。
あんたの言葉はわからないよ。
Eh?
なんだい、やっぱり口が聞けるんじゃないか。
The same language or not?
デンジンの石膏がこの辺りに忍び込んだ。怪しいガキを見なかったか。
Like this one?
大使閣下の正規兵を2人殺している手だれだ。左腕に矢傷を負っている。女、それはお前の子か。
ええ、そうです。末のジョンですが。
ちょうどその子供ぐらいの背格好だ。見かけたら知らせろ。
You helped him.
何やってるかわかんないの。あの子は海賊なんだよ。
子供が海賊なんて普通じゃないよ。何か事情があるんだろう。
あの子はジョンの代わりにはなれないのよ。
It was truly the name of your son. I was wondering. He's leaving. He can see that he's bringing trouble.
逃げろ。
Huh? You're running away, that's what... Oh no! He's warning them to run away because pirates are gonna come, war is gonna come. I mean fights.
トロフィーの合図だ。そろそろのはずだが。あそこだ。火事だ。浜の小屋が燃えてるぞ。男衆、集め。やはりそうか。負けてたら小僧。 なんだ、あの子供を殺したのか、あれ。
Yes, he did.
なんで来たんだよあんた。逃げろって言っただろ。まだ間に合う。森の中に逃げろ。海からどこに行くんだ。急がないと連中が。
The pirates. He fired the place, he sent the signal. That's why Thorfinn told you to run away, like...
城壁だ、トロフィー。思ってご景気良さげな村なんだ。おやおやすんなよ。敵軍が来る前に使い上げるぜ。
Like your little village, like your mom and your sister. You are the enemy attacking them, Thorfinn. I know, I didn't cry for Thor's death and I can maybe cry for that moment. I know. This episode was really about Thorfinn growing up, not just physically but also mentally. Oh. First, about growing up physically, you saw it during the intro. I didn't expect at all for it to happen right there. I thought that we would stay with him as a young boy for the first half of this season, and then we would have him as a teenager maybe for the second half of the season. Really, I didn't imagine that it would happen so fast, but at the same time I didn't imagine for his dad to die during the episode 4. I didn't imagine for this anime to be only made, you know, with 2 seasons, so I need to rethink all of the rhythm of this anime, how we can progress with Thorfinn, you know, how fast we can progress with him. Like right there for me, he's a teenager, around 12 or 13, something like that, years old I mean. He grew up really fast, he's staying with askeladd, you know, and his guys, and that I didn't see it coming neither. For me, the end of the last episode, it was askeladd promising to Thorfinn, okay, at some point when you're gonna be old enough, strong enough, you're gonna ask me to have a duel and I would say yes to you and we would really fight. I thought that it was a promise like you're gonna grow up on your own, you're gonna learn how to fight, you're gonna become a soldier, all of that, you're gonna do things on the battlefield, and then one day you're gonna search for me and you're gonna find me and you're gonna have a duel with me. But I didn't think that Thorfinn would stay with askeladd and his guys. I really don't think so. So that it was a surprise for me. So for sure to see him growing up with these guys, it's also a surprise. He's following them, like I'm not even sure that right now they are feeding him. We saw that he was continuing to feed himself, that he was just following them. He was not walking with them, you know. He's still used by them right there to be a scout. They didn't care that much about is he still alive or not. And it was by threatening him, you know, that they told him to be a scout and to go right there. So clearly he's not a slave for them, but around it, you know. But Thorfinn is fighting with them. You know, during the fights that these pirates they had, Thorfinn was on their side, was protecting them, defending some of them, was killing with them, for them. The fact that we are seeing him, you know, killing his first guy, and we can see that he's crying, that it's painful for him, because he understands what it means, you know, to kill someone. Because during this moment he's like, I defended myself, but I killed someone alive, and that guy was a soldier, like he did nothing against me. So far he wanted to kill someone, he wanted to kill askeladd, but for a personal revenge. When during this first fight he killed someone to protect himself, because that guy wanted to kill him, but just because he was with the pirates, you know. Nothing was personal on Thorfinn's side, like on this guy's side, it was just a question of killing the guy who is in front of you with a sword. So I think that during this moment Thorfinn understood that, and then he killed a lot of these guys. I don't think that he's counting them, you know. Me, I was ready to count them, but no, he killed a lot of them. All of this story with this lady, her daughter, it's so sad. It's so sad because they took care of him, they fed him, they helped him, you know, because he was hurt. They cleaned him. That girl, that lady, she lied for him to protect him. And when he understood that he was trouble for them, he understood that he couldn't stay right there and that he had to leave, and that he had no other choice than to make what he was supposed to make at first, because no matter what, people were searching for him around, so he couldn't escape, he couldn't run away, so he had to make his job as a scout, meaning to send the signal, you know, by firing that house for the pirates to come. He tried to protect this lady and her daughter by telling them to run away, by warning them, and they didn't listen. But at the same time, can you blame them because they didn't listen? It's their place, it's their home. They couldn't imagine that really this kid would do that, and they couldn't imagine all of what would happen after that. I'm not gonna blame them, you know, like, oh, they were stupid, they didn't listen to Thorfinn, not at all. They didn't listen to Thorfinn, not at all. But I'm feeling so sad, you know, for them and that woman discovering that Thorfinn is really the kid who killed these guys and that he can be that violent, you know, with this rage inside of his eyes, like that, you know, all of his face, you know, being transformed by this rage like that. This woman, she felt so sad because she saw a kid being like that, and she said it's not usual and it's not logical for a kid to work with pirates. So I think that she felt sad for Thorfinn. She felt sad about the fact that he was like that and he killed these guys. She felt sad because she knew what was coming, death, you know, for everyone that she loved into her life, and meaning also the description of all of what her life was, and surely her life, truly. She felt so sad, her tears really, she felt disappointed also. And Thorfinn, seeing that she didn't run away, he felt sad also, and he saw his family during this moment, because yes, this woman, she could have been your mother and her daughter could have been your sister. This village, it's like your little village. Imagine that someone is coming to your little village, attacking everyone, killing everyone. This person would be the enemy, and such a violent enemy, and right there you are the enemy. That's why I'm saying that during this episode Thorfinn, he grew up physically but also mentally, because there is really that question of being the enemy that we have since the beginning, since I think the episode 1 right there, about the fact that into the life of that little young boy during the episode 1, the only enemy that he knew in his life, it was our friend, because his life was only that little village. And when his father during the second episode said that he would go on a war, asking the question to this young boy, who is gonna fight, you know, like your dad is gonna fight who, which enemy, the only name that he had, it was Orphan, because he doesn't know any other name. I mean, he didn't know any other name, any other figure, you know, of enemies. And after that, you know, with this fight against Askeladd, for him, Askeladd is the enemy because he's the one responsible for the death of his dad, but he didn't understand that it was because of Floki, so he doesn't know the real enemy of that situation. But right there, he can see that he can be the enemy, he can be the one killing people so randomly just like that, being responsible of it. And at the same time, these guys, these soldiers, they wanted to kill him, so they are his enemy, but it's nothing personal. Like really, for me, Thorfinn, during this episode, I think that he understands a lot more that defining the enemy, it's not that easy, and it's going also with what his father told him, tried to teach him about the fact that no one is your enemy. It's just about people who are obeying to orders, who are trying to save themselves, who are trying to save people that they love, who are defending themselves, who are obeying to orders, who are doing stuff like, no one is really the enemy of someone else. Everyone has a reason to act in a certain way. And right there, Thorfinn is like that, and he's doing all of that because he's obeying to orders, because they're threatening his life, because he doesn't have any other choice, because he has to stay with askeladd to have his revenge at some point. You know, a lot of reasons to explain why he's right there, why he's staying with them, why he fired that home, you know, he sent that signal, why he's deciding to attack this village at the end with everyone, why he killed all of these people before that, why he didn't choose, you know, to stay with this lady, to change totally his life. Like, Thorfinn had a lot of reasons to act like he did, like everyone who is in front of him has also a lot of reasons to act in that or that way. And I think that Thorfinn, during this episode, understood that. And to put yourself, you know, inside of the shoes of your enemy, and to consider your enemy, you know, that person in front of you as yourself, your family, and all, to be in empathy with that person, to consider that person like yourself and all. It's really saying a lot, and it's really also showing a certain maturity that Thorfinn is beginning to have also. That was a difficult episode. It has been 2 episodes, like... It's rough for this kid. I mean, 3 episodes now. He lost his dad, his mentor, his hero. He didn't give up, you know, on his life. He fought to stay alive and all. And right there he's growing up, discovering everything about life, about the figure, you know, of the enemy, and oh, so difficult for Thorfinn. And I have the emotion that it's not gonna improve, you know, like it's gonna stay like that for a long time now. Okay, I'm gonna stop this review right now. Maybe I'm gonna have the time today to watch 1 more episode. I don't know that yet. I have other stuff to do before that. So no matter what, it's all for you for this video, and it's all for me for now. So bye for now. Bye.
Wait a minute, Doc. Are you telling me you built a time machine?
Hey.